Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, guys, and today we're going to be doing a book review of one of the most beneficial books that I have found helpful to my education in terms of training and also just learning about developing exercise programs, specifically when it comes to the lower back and lower back injuries. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Remi Sovran here from RemiSovran.com. With today's new video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and I'm going to be doing a book review of a book that I found very helpful for myself, not only for my back pain and back issues, but also just for myself as a strength coach and helping other people out in terms of developing a efficient and an individualized program for someone with a lower back injury or someone just looking to improve their overall back fitness and performance. So what we're going to be reviewing today is the book Ultimate Back Fitness and Performance by Dr. Stuart McGill. So Dr. Stuart McGill is not a medical doctor, so don't get confused, guys. Rather, he's was a spine researcher of biomechanics at the University of Waterloo. So I've never met Dr. McGill personally. I've heard him speak live. I heard him speak actually live in the end of 2016 when he was speaking at SWIS, which is a Society of Weight Training and Injury Specialists, where he was giving kind of a presentation on performance and kind of back performance. But what we're going to be talking about is this book, and this is probably one of the best books that I own today. And to kind of put things in perspective, guys, before I kind of jump into a little review, I paid $45 for this book, and through my whole recovery, I probably spent about over $5,000 when you combine physical therapy, chiropractor, massage therapy. And I learned way more and became way more educated by the $45 I spent on this book when compared to all those physios, chiros, and massage therapists that I went to see. So that's kind of a lot to say, at least from my perspective, and how much I really kind of appreciate this book and how much I found this book helpful. Now, keep in mind, I didn't buy this book until the end of my recovery. So when I was actually working with the Toronto Raptors, it was kind of at the midpoint, or the midpoint that I was working with Toronto there with the Raptors, is when I got a hold of this book and kind of started reading into it and educating myself with this book, just because I wanted to become more experienced. I wanted to learn more about back injuries. I wanted to just kind of learn how, the back should be developed in terms of when working with athletes or just everyday individuals. I just wanted to kind of further advance my education, and I had heard a lot of coaches kind of raving about this book online, so I eventually got a hold of it. And I must say, it was one of probably the best $45 kind of purchases I've made. And this is currently the 5th edition that I have here. I think there's now a 7th edition out, so it's just kind of a more updated version with more information. But nevertheless, just to kind of review this book now is, firstly, this book is not kind of geared towards the lay person or just your everyday person. Rather, this is more geared to your strength coach, personal trainer, chiropractor, physical therapist, or any clinician that is working with someone that may have a back injury or back pain, or is just kind of looking to improve the overall performance and fitness of an individual with regards to kind of preventing back injuries. And it can be kind of more maybe difficult for the lay person to read, and it's not really specifically designed for that type of a reader. And the way this book is designed is that there's kind of 3 separate sections. So the first section is kind of more the scientific foundation or the theory, and just kind of Dr. McGill goes into a lot of kind of more of the research and kind of the breakdown of the anatomy and some of the physiology regarding spinal discs. And then it kind of touches on to individualized programming as the second section. And Dr. McGill talks about how every program kind of needs to be individualized, and every case kind of is different in terms of maybe extension-based back pain, flexion-based back pain. And then the third section is kind of putting everything together and designing kind of the ultimate program. And then at the end of the book, what I really like is that Dr. McGill kind of gives some of his case studies with kind of people that he's worked with, whether that's maybe a weightlifter or just kind of your everyday person that works maybe a 9-to-5 and is in back pain. So ultimately, this is a great book for any kind of trainer or maybe strength coach or physical therapist, chiropractor, that is kind of looking to further educate themselves in terms of developing good exercise programs, in terms of preventing back injuries, but also helping people that may be in back pain. So now this book isn't really going to tell you how to heal a herniated disc or how to heal a bulging disc. Rather, it's just going to give you a good breakdown of what the exercise program may look like and may need to look like for an individual. Now, Dr. McGill has 2 other books out, and he has Back Mechanic, which is more designed for the lay person, which is someone that is maybe in back pain and is trying to kind of figure a way out to kind of heal themselves. Kind of Dr. McGill has like a guide for that. Now, I've never read the book, so I can't really attest to it, I know some of my subscribers, people currently watching this video, have read the book so they can maybe have a better testament to it and how effective the book is. And then he also has another book, which is Low Back Disorders, which is more designed towards an individual looking to diagnose people specifically, so looking at more provocative tests. Now that's a book I haven't read yet, and it's something that I will get a hold of in the future, just to kind of further educate myself in terms of the diagnosis, because I'm not trained to diagnose people. Rather, my expertise or my familiarity is with exercise, kind of performance, and kind of developing the exercise program and what it should look like. So that's where I'm most familiar with, just being a strength coach or performance coach myself, working with professional athletes before, specifically with Toronto and with the Toronto Raptors in the NBA, and also with professional hockey athletes. So that's where my kind of experience or familiarity is, and it's not so much relevant on the diagnosis, but some people may have read that book as well, and they may have a better testament to it as well. But ultimately, point being, guys, is big fan of this book. I highly recommend it, highly suggest it if you're someone that's looking to just further educate yourself on the back in general and how a maybe exercise program should be developed. Now, it's more specifically geared towards, you know, your type of clinician or physical therapist, strength coach that is working with people with back issues, but just your everyday person would kind of benefit maybe as well. They would definitely learn a lot from this if they've kind of put into the work, into the effort to kind of break down things, or if they're looking to get into that field of health and fitness, or they're familiar in that field. But that's what I have to say about this book. I thought I would make this video because I know a lot of people out there currently watching this video, probably going through back issues, or maybe people out there, they're looking to further kind of enhance their knowledge or just expertise. And this is a book that I highly recommend. Definitely worth the 45 bucks. Best 45 bucks probably I've ever kind of spent on a book. And like I mentioned, to put things in perspective, I learned 100% way more in this book than I did with the $5,000 I spent on chiropractors, physical therapists, and massage therapists, and even the doctors that I saw as well. Learned way more in this book, and it's total about 300 pages, but it really breaks down things from the exercise point of view, and it kind of puts things into perspective, into detail, which may be very helpful for someone looking to develop kind of a strong back and develop that performance. But like I said, it's not a book designed on how to heal like a spinal disc injury, or how to heal some sort of maybe extension-based back pain injury. It's designed kind of more for that exercise programming and performance point of view. So that being said, guys, great book, highly recommend it. And I thought just making this video, a lot of people may benefit from hearing that from me. And if they're looking to kind of maybe further advance their education and whatnot, keep in mind, I didn't get a hold of this book until after kind of my recovery, and that was kind of the midpoint when I was with the Toronto Raptors. So I was familiar with McGill kind of during the end portion of my recovery, and I kind of talked about him in my story of lower back pain, my first video I posted. I didn't have any of his books, didn't read any of his books. By that time, I was just reading articles and some YouTube videos that he posted online, but nevertheless, McGill is kind of a pioneer in the field and someone I personally look up to when it comes to back injuries and kind of developing just a strong back and having that kind of back fitness and optimal performance for the back. So guys, that's just kind of my book review of this. If you're someone just looking to further educate yourself, this is something I found to be one of the most beneficial and helpful books, just to kind of further educate myself and helpful in terms of training athletes, but also just for myself as well to kind of further educate myself. And with regards to my back, I've learned a lot as well. So guys, that's it for this video. Now, if you're someone that actually has this book, and if you've actually had a lot of benefits, if you've enjoyed the book, would love to hear it. Maybe if you didn't enjoy the book, love to hear it. But also if you're someone that has purchased one of other Dr. McGill's book, whether it's back mechanic or low back disorders, would love to hear about that as well, and what kind of your experience reading those books were, and if you found them helpful for your injury case, or just maybe from an educational point of view, you found them helpful, would love to hear that as well. Okay guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I wish you guys all the best and a successful and productive day, and take care.